Welcome to the fascinating world of coffee, where every bean tells a story. Coffee, the beloved beverage that kickstarts our mornings and fuels our afternoons, has a rich history and an even richer flavor. But have you ever heard of the most unique and luxurious coffee in the world? That's right, we're talking about Civet coffee, also known as Kopi Luwak. Stay tuned as we unveil the secrets behind this rare delicacy. Meet the farmers dedicated to crafting the perfect cup. And of course, learn how to make Civet coffee right from the source. Let's dive right in. Civet coffee is known to be one of the most expensive coffees in the world, with prices that can surprise many people. On the international market, the retail price of Civet coffee can range from $100 to $600 per pound, approximately 454 grams. Notably, wild Civet coffee, collected from civets living in the wild, can reach prices up to $1,000 per pound, significantly higher than farmed Civet coffee. This coffee is distinguished by its unusual production process. This specialty coffee is created through a fascinating natural fermentation process involving the civet, specifically the Asian palm civet, Paradoxurus hermaphroditus, which is commonly referred to as the civet cat. Civet farms are usually located in rural areas, far from residential and industrial areas to minimize the risk of pollution and disease transmission. The civet enclosures must be kept clean and the living environment strictly controlled to ensure the best health for the civets. The enclosures are designed to be well ventilated, with good drainage and sanitation systems to prevent dampness and waste buildup. The living environment for the civets must also provide adequate light, space for movement, and natural elements such as trees and branches for the civets to climb and be active. The production process begins when the civet consumes ripe coffee cherries, which are the fruit from which coffee beans are harvested. Civets are known for their discerning taste, selecting only the finest and ripest coffee cherries to eat. Farmers take great care in selecting these cherries, meticulously examining each one to ensure it meets the civet's standards. The coffee bean is then swallowed into the civet's stomach without being crushed. The hard outer shell of the coffee bean protects it from the mechanical digestion process in the civet's stomach. The coffee beans undergo a natural fermentation process in the civet's stomach. When the civet swallows the coffee beans, the enzymes and acids in its stomach act on the outer layer of the beans, altering their chemical composition. This process not only softens the outer layer of the coffee beans, but also helps break down some proteins and polysaccharides. These changes help eliminate some of the bitter compounds, resulting in a smoother and richer flavor. Additionally, the fermentation process helps develop unique aromatic compounds, contributing to the distinctive flavor of civet coffee. Embedded within the feces are the coffee beans, which are usually intact and can be identified by their characteristic oval shape. The beans may be covered in a thin, mucilaginous layer of digested fruit pulp, which is a result of the natural fermentation process that occurs in the civet's digestive system. After digesting the fruit pulp, the civet will excrete the coffee beans intact through its feces. This process occurs naturally, and the coffee beans are then collected from the civet's droppings. Next, the collected feces are carefully transported to a designated drying area. This area is typically clean, open space where the drying can be done under controlled conditions. The feces are spread out in a thin, even layer on clean surfaces such as drying racks, trays, or mats. This arrangement ensures that air can circulate freely around the feces, which is essential for effective drying. The drying area is exposed to direct sunlight, which helps to evaporate moisture from the feces. Sunlight is a natural and effective method for drying, as it helps to prevent mold growth and ensures the beans within are thoroughly dried. The feces are left to sunbathe for a few days, depending on the local climate and weather conditions. After the civet feces are dried, they are cleaned and the coffee beans are removed from their outer shell. After removing the outer husk and drying, the coffee beans are ready for processing, which is similar to regular coffee beans, including roasting and grinding. Brewing civet coffee is often a meticulous and delicate process to ensure that the unique flavor of this coffee is fully developed. Grinding the coffee beans just before brewing preserves the flavor. The grind size depends on the brewing method but is typically medium to fine. The siphon method uses vacuum pressure to brew coffee, which can produce a clean and flavorful cup. This process helps extract a wide range of flavors from the coffee grounds while minimizing bitterness and sediment. The brewing process in a siphon coffee maker is visually striking, often considered a performance. The process of brewing coffee with a vacuum pot can be a fascinating and engaging experience for coffee enthusiasts. By the way, let's explore together how a cup of coffee comes to life. The coffee plant flowers in the spring, and after about 6 to 9 months, the flowers turn into ripe coffee cherries. The cherries initially start out green, but change to red or yellow as they ripen. Initially, the coffee cherries are small and green, blending in with the lush foliage of the coffee plant. As they develop, they gradually increase in size and begin to change color, signaling their ripeness. Hand-picking is the most common method, especially in rugged, hilly areas or where coffee trees are not planted in regular rows. This method allows harvesters to carefully select only the ripe coffee cherries. Mechanical harvesting is mainly used in large coffee farms with flat or gently sloping land. This method can harvest a large quantity of coffee in a short time, reducing labor costs. After harvesting, the coffee cherries are processed to remove the beans. There are two main methods, wet and dry. The wet method involves soaking the coffee cherries in water to soften the fruit pulp before separating the beans. The dry method includes drying the coffee cherries before separating the beans. The beans are roasted at high temperatures for a specific period to develop flavor and color. The roasting process can range from light to dark, depending on the preferences and the type of coffee. Roasting the coffee beans is a critical and transformative step in the coffee production process. fundamentally shaping the flavor profile and aroma of the final product. As the beans heat up, they begin to lose moisture and undergo significant physical and chemical changes. The color of the beans changes from green to yellow and then to various shades of brown, depending on the duration and intensity of the roast. The beans also expand and crack, releasing carbon dioxide and other volatile compounds. These changes contribute to the development of the coffee's distinctive flavor and aroma. After the roasting process is complete, the coffee beans undergo a cooling phase to halt the roasting process and lock in their developed flavors. At this stage, the beans are ready for the next steps: packaging or immediate grinding and brewing. And that's a wrap on our journey through the fascinating world of Civet coffee. We hope you enjoy this deep dive into one of the most exclusive and intriguing coffees in the world. If you found this video informative and engaging, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Your support helps us bring more amazing content to you. Have any questions or thoughts about Civet coffee? Drop them in the comments below. We love hearing from you.